streaming YouTube and everything else, and then Facebook's next. We'll be live once this thing turns blue. Sometime it happens. There we go. Now we're live. All the way live.
Cool.
Hell yeah, man.
That's what I'm talking about.
Man, this is crazy. This is seriously crazy because I hadn't seen you. I don't even. I seen you on Facebook. I haven't seen you in person other than maybe yesterday or the other day at the gym.
Yeah, the other day at the gym. Yeah.
Since I want to guess 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah, dude, it was that long ago.
Like we just said, you had long, straight black hair.
Yep.
You were skinny. You weren't all jacked up, buff.
Nope, I would. Back then, it was probably like 50 pounds. But, you know.
But you're older. You're Shane's age. You're my brother's age, I think, right?
Yeah, I'm 36.
Okay, I'm 33.
Yeah.
But I remember you were just a little bit older than me.
Yeah.
But I always go over there, kick it, and hang out and play video games. We were talking about your dad had the hand that was, like you said, chopped off and then put back on.
Yeah.
And he would kick everybody's ass with one hand. But this was before you had the Xbox extra. But he probably could figure that out too.
Yeah. He's still good with that one hand. He still does a lot of stuff. So.
How old is he now?
He's almost 60.
Okay, he's my dad's age. My dad's 58. Man, that was so crazy. And then I look in there, I'm like, damn, this dude's, because I wanted to join the military. Long story short, I didn't. Shane got to. He kind of fucked it up for me. But, and then, well, shit, I was going to enlist June 15th of this year on my birthday, but my little girl wasn't having it. My wife was down. My son was down. My little girl's like,
How old is your little girl?
11.
11.
I mean, I'm sorry, 10.
Okay. Yeah, I can understand. You know, when I first joined, my son was 1, and when I left for basic training, my daughter was 3 months. So through my career, my kids were still young, and they didn't grasp the concept of me always being gone. So that helped out quite a bit. Being older, it would have probably been it'll been hard for my kids now.
Yeah. I bet it'd be hard on you. So basic training, daughter's 3 months.
Yeah.
Boys 1.
Yeah. So I left for basic training. This kind of weird story. You know, at first I used to work at Sierra Springs, bottling water, cleaning the coolers and stuff.
Did you still have the hair?
Yeah. No. I cut my hair when I was 18. When I was 18, because back then I used to break dance. So whenever I finished breakdancing, dude, I used to have a nappy mop
dust.
head. Yeah. So, and I always kept it in a braid. So I'd have to spend like 15, 20 minutes combing it out and then, you know, getting somebody else to braid it. So when I was 18, I was like, man, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and cut it off. Boy, when I cut it off, my dad was pissed off.
I bet.
Matter of fact, my aunt used to cut hair. So I told her, I was like, man, cut my hair. So she was cutting my hair in the kitchen, and my dad walked in from work, and he seen what was going on. Man, he raised hell. He threw a picture frame at us. Dude, he did not want me to ever cut my hair.
That's crazy.
I was 18, so.
What was his reasoning for you not cutting? Just he liked it, or?
Yeah, he just liked it. He said it was always an attention grabber. You know, people, and honestly, it really was. You know,
yeah.
Everybody would come up and like, hey, let me braid your hair. Let me touch your hair. Or how long is it when it's unbraided and stuff? So it really was. I didn't realize it at the time. I just thought of it like, hey, it's getting in my way when I'm breakdancing.
Yeah.
Breakdancing was my number one priority.
It felt good though, didn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it did. So
after that, you were talking about going to the military.
Yeah. So I used to work at Sierra Springs. I had one of my good friends. He came. He showed up one day after work. And he was like, hey, bro, I was going to Steinmart, and then for some reason I made a detour into the Army recruiting office. And he's like, man, they told me that they'll take care of your family. You don't have to worry about nothing. You make good money. They'll give you housing and stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. You know, I worked at Sierra Springs for I was getting paid like $7 an hour. So it was,
toting waters, working
so,
hard.
Yeah, so I really wasn't going nowhere. So I was like, all right, man, you know what? Behind my wife's back, I went and talked to a recruiter. and he fed me a bunch of BS. And I was like, man, you know what? This sounds like a great opportunity. So you know what? I was like, man, you know what? Let me sign up. So we went through the whole in processing thing. We it took at least about 4 months before we got shipped out.
Mm-hmm.
So we just started training with like the recruiters and stuff just to get an upper level on what to expect.
What was it? Is it MO?
MOS?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was a fueler, a petroleum supply specialist.
Okay.
So, we left. I left 2 days before my wife's birthday.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. She wasn't happy.
Yeah.
So you know what? I went through my basic training, which was about 9 weeks. Then I went through my schooling, which was another 9 weeks. So I was thinking, like, yeah, man, you know what? It's time for me to go home. So right as like 2 days before we get shipped off or we graduate, we go back to our house for leave, and then we'll go to our duty station. They're like, hey, we got like 20 something of y'all that got selected to go to some extra training. And I was like, man, please don't call my name. Sure enough, I was the first name that was called. So it was a training just to go learn to drive tankers and stuff like that. So I did that.
Oh,
for
so
a
you can
month.
like get missiles pointed at you real good.
Yeah. So I did that for a month. I finished that training at the end of September. I took vacation. They call it leave.
Yeah.
I took leave, and then I took an extra 2 weeks to hometown recruiting. That was like a perk that they gave you.
Oh, okay, cool.
So Halloween we drove from Midland all the way to Savannah, Georgia. That was gonna be my Fort Stewart, which was Hinesville, Georgia. That was my first duty station. So we get there. Like I was probably there with like about 15 other guys. Me and my good friend that joined with me, because we did everything together, and we so happened got the same duty station. They separated. Like we got chose to go to Hunter Army Airfield, which was in Savannah, Georgia. It's like maybe about 40 minutes from Fort Stewart.
So just you and him.
Yeah, just me and him. So we get there. We get to the in processing, and they're like, "Hey," so we went to different units, and they're like, "Hey, you know what? You are both." We got to our unit. I think it was like October the 12th. Once we finished in processing, they're like, "Hey, we're gonna send you out to some quick training, because come January 1st, you're off to Iraq." I was like, "Okay."
So what year was that?
Huh?
What year would that have been?
I joined in 2004, April. January of 2005, I got shipped off. So it was like, so I drove my wife there. She was there with me for 2 months, and then I had to move them back because she didn't want to stay there. She didn't know nobody.
Right.
The kids were small.
But they would live, like they had a house?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
they
on base then?
Yeah. Yeah. They provide housing, all utilities. The only thing you pay for is just cable internet.
Oh, so you could have seen them almost every day then.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I did see them. We had gotten a house, but since I was getting deployed, she wanted to come back and be closer to family. My family and her family are both here, and plus my kids were small, and she wasn't gonna have no help. So I moved them right back over here. I was gone for a year, and then came back and moved them. But
on the first deployment?
Yeah, my first deployment.
1 full year.
Yeah, 1 full year.
Is it always that way?
No, actually,
6 months or something.
No, I think it's the Marines are. I think they're 6 or 9 months. Navy gets 3 months, and Air Force gets 3 months, from my understanding. My first deployment was 12 months. My second deployment was 15 months. So it was a long time. That 15 months was hell. But we talked about my first deployment. I was new. I didn't understand what was going on. We get to Kuwait. It's a different world.
Yeah.
You see all kinds of weird things.
Were you still? Well, I guess in the picture you said you're 140 over there.
Actually, yeah, I was probably about 140 whenever I joined. I looked sick.
Were you terrified when you got over there, or you kind of like zoned out a little bit?
You know what? You didn't know what to expect. Uh, all through training, our drill sergeants were like, "Hey, we're here to prepare you to die." That was their motto that they would tell us every single day. Like, we're here to train you fuckers to die. And we're like,
Damn.
I was like, no, I'm not.
Not this one, motherfucker.
Yeah. So, basic training, our drill sergeants would tell us that. And me, my friend Fernando, and another friend, his name was Steven. We're like, you know what? This is not what I signed up for. I was like, man, you know what? I just barely had my daughter, had my son. I don't think they could last without me. So they're like the drill sergeants, man. I remember, like, and we had a bay, and they had bunk beds. Like, as far as you could see, we had 64 males in our barracks, and it was like open barracks.
Yeah.
So they had this one little special spot in the middle where it would be buffed, polished, the floor was shiny. They call that the kill zone. You were not allowed to step on it. No, you couldn't cross that line. So when we had told them, like, hey man, we didn't sign up for this. We need to slow down, and I need to go home. They're like, you ain't fucking going home. You're stuck, buddy.
There's no quitting this job.
You put your hand up. The only way you're getting out is you die. So we're like, So what they did for a punishment, they had all three of us stand at the front of the bay, and the drill sergeants must have talked shit to us for about maybe an hour. They had us standing there for about maybe 4 hours, dude. Like, we couldn't move, we couldn't do nothing.
They're screaming.
Yeah, they screamed, then they'd leave for about an hour, come back, scream some more, then leave, and then come back. So it was tough.
Just because you're like, hey man, I was thinking something different about this.
Yeah. So then after that, they start breaking you down, mentally, physically, and then they start shaping you and molding you.
But you had to do good because they selected you for extra training. I mean,
yeah,
your gift for doing a good job was more training.
Yeah. It was an experience, man. There's so many stories from basic training alone. We had a guy that would not shower, would not wash his clothes.
They let him do that?
Yeah, they let him. He must have went about.
Marines, I think, would beat the shit out of him. My brother's Marine Corps, and
they're
bad about keeping your feet clean and.
Yeah, well, no, he was an African. He was from Africa, but he wanted to get out. He wanted to get out. That's what his sole purpose was, to get out. So he just would not shower. Like, he wouldn't wash his clothes. So, like, our area smelled like straight garbage. I think one night everybody got fed up with it. They picked him up, they wrapped him in his blankets, and then they threw him in the shower. Then they started pouring like shampoo, conditioner on him, and started scrubbing him just so he could learn.
A bunch of men gave this dude like, we're gonna give you. They don't want to, but they're giving you a bath.
Yeah, they're gonna give you a bath, and
I bet that dude was fighting hard though, butt naked.
He was fighting hard.
Who scrubbed his ass?
Dude, I think they left his clothes on and just let that.
Did the best they could.
Yeah,
had to be better than what it was.
Yeah, and there was we had a drill sergeant. He also got caught boning a private, like a new recruit. So
dude on dude action.
No, it was actually a girl.
Okay.
Yeah. So
how the fuck they pull that off?
Honestly, I didn't even know. I never knew about it.
So y'all would see females during boot camp. You would see okay.
Yeah. You'd see females. You'd see them. You do some training with them and stuff. So
I guess you had to work with them in the field. So
yeah, you did. Matter of fact, when that girl got caught, we were in our field training, and for some reason we got in trouble for something, and I think the drill sergeants were mad because that drill sergeant had got caught. So they called it the Indy 500, and that's where you have to put your face to the ground, and you have to like inch like a snail.
I've seen that
on the floor.
I've s-
So you're doing that with your weapon. And that girl that got caught, dude, we had blanks in our rifles, and she stood up and she cocked her weapon, and then she just started shooting all of us. And we were like, "What the fuck? What's
what
going
the
on with
fuck?
this?" Yeah, dude. Like,
You were in there crawling? And
yeah,
she-
yeah. We were. There was probably about like 8 of us.
what the?
And next thing you know, she stands up, and she cocks her weapon, and then she just starts literally shooting every single one of us. And we're like, hey man, somebody needs to come get this chick and take her weapon away from her. You know, after that happened, they sent her away. I think she ended up getting kicked out.
She's trying to act crazy.
Yeah, but you know, we've had so many different people like trying to get out during that time. Like we had one guy, he made it all the way to the bus station. They caught him at the bus
Oh, he
station.
ran.
Yeah, he ran.
Ooh.
They caught him at the bus
Ooh.
station. So
He's in trouble.
yeah, he was. And you know, like for his punishment, they had him like getting in the push-up position in front of everybody. So there was this one guy. I forgot where he was from. I think he was from Kentucky or somewhere. He was tall, and he kept putting. He would go over there, grab a 45-pound plate, and put it on his back. And the drill sergeant's instructions were like, do not let this soldier knees touch. Don't let nothing. He has to stay in that position. So this dude, he puts 2 45-pound plates on his back, and he's in the push-up position. And out of nowhere, man, that guy comes out and just drop kicks him dead in his chest. And matter of fact, he sent that guy to the hospital.
The DI kicked him?
Yeah, the guy that got kicked had to go to the hospital,
Oh.
and they ended up taking out his spleen.
Oh,
He ruptured
his spleen.
Yeah, he ruptured his spleen, dude. You know, the drill sergeants, like nothing ever happened to the guy that kicked him. You know, they just swept it under the rug. But the drill sergeants were like, there was a couple of them that were mad that nothing happened to this other kid, because he almost cost that other kid his life. We get to, yeah, it was crazy, man. You know, there's
My brother, I remember him saying, he's like, you know how they say in the recruiting station, they can't put their hands on you. Because that's bullshit. They'll beat the dog fucking shit out of you.
yeah, they sure will. They will beat the hell out of you. Matter of fact, I had this one guy. We were doing our field training. We had to be on the field for, I think it was 8 days. Yeah, we were on the field for 8 days.
After boot camp?
No, it was during boot camp.
Oh,
It was
okay.
like our last leg of boot camp, our last 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
So we're in boot camp, and and we're in the thing, and we're playing capture the flag with another unit. So we're all doing our missions, and we got the other unit's flag.
Right.
So we're holding it in our area, and our drill sergeants were like, "Hey, don't let nobody come get this flag. This is our flag." So me and another guy are guarding the flag, and this drill sergeant walks up. He's like, "Hey, private, I'm here to take my damn flag." I was like, "No, you ain't." Dude, he cold cock punches me square in my chest, knocks the air out of me.
You were
dude.
ready for it?
No, I didn't. I wasn't expecting it. You know, I really wasn't.
Right.
I really wasn't. I was like, he's not gonna hit me, so I'm just gonna hold this flag. No, dude, he hits me square in my chest, dude, and I'm like, knocks the air out of me, like I fall down. And I was like, what the hell's going on here? He grabs his flag and he was like, I already done talked to your other damn drill sergeants. I'm taking my damn flag back. I was like, whatever, man. I was
you
like,
can't touch him, though.
Yeah, you can't touch him.
That would be a bad deal.
Yeah, so that was.
That's kind of shitty, though. It should be like, it should be a rule. Hey, man, if they're gonna sock you in the chest, you prepare for you should be able to grapple or fight right there, just for that moment.
Yeah, you know.
Because then you got to try to fight him back for the flag.
Yeah, that would be an ideal, but no, it's frowned upon.
But after, are you kind of malnourished in boot camp? I mean, I guess you probably stuffed you full of food, right?
No, actually, dude, you know that was the thing. Like once you said, like when you go to the DFAC, they have all these. You have like maybe about 5 to 7 minutes to scarf your food down.
Oh, that's almost impossible.
So it's you have it's about 5 to 7 minutes, dude. So once that first person, sits down, they gotta eat. The last person, they give them 5 minutes to eat. So between that time, you have to like just throw it all back. You'll
Like
swallow
meat?
everything,
Hey.
everything. You swallow it and taste it later. So they always and they have in the DFAC, they have like this big old table set up with all these desserts, cookies, cakes, everything that you could think of, pies, ice cream, and it was off limits. So it was like torture.
Oh, it's
Like
just so you can see it.
just so
Nobody
you could
ate
see
it?
it. No, you couldn't. You were not allowed to
Who
touch
ate
that.
it though?
The drill sergeants. Um, yeah, that was one thing that they wouldn't. We were on our field exercises, and they would bring us lunch, and they'd also bring like a cake or like cakes, pies, cookies, and stuff like that. But we weren't allowed to touch it.
Just there.
Yeah, it's just there. So
Yeah, I might grab one or
no, you couldn't touch it. So what they would do was once we're finished eating, they throw all that stuff in the garbage. So I remember one time I was leading a squad. At that time, we were doing some missions. So we're out there, and I call all my people around me into my foxhole, and I'm like, hey, dude, I was like, man, you know what? It's our last week. I was like, we're gonna get some cake. I seen it. It's right there in the trash bags. Um, so we devised a plan. Like I had a couple of soldiers go and
still in the box chilling there.
distract the drill sergeants, and because the garbage, the trash bags were right there by the porta johns. So they're distracting them. Me and another guy, we run up, we grab it, we grab the trash bag, and we fucking take off running. We go back to my foxhole, then everybody meets up, and so dude, we're going to town. It's a yellow cake with chocolate frosting. Dude,
Uh,
my wife gets tired of this story because I tell it so often.
but it was the best thing ever.
Yeah. So, dude, we're going to town. Like, not even 2 minutes later, we hear somebody coming up, and they're like, "Hey, it's y'all's time to go it's our time to go on a mission." So, dude, we wrap it up in the trash bag. We just throw it in the woods. We're like, man, we're gonna run this mission, then we'll come back and eat it. So we go out there, we do our mission, we come back, and everybody's like, "Hey, man, go get the bag. Let's eat this cake." So I come back, dude, and the cake is covered in ants. It's covered. So I was like, "Hey, guys, let's you want to throw it away or we want to keep eating?" So next thing you know, I was like, "Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna keep eating it."
You
So
knocked the ants off of
yeah,
it.
the hell no, they went down with it too.
Ah.
So we ate the cake, we ate the ants. It was a good time.
If
Man.
you're hungry, you had no sugar, no carbs, probably.
Man, you know what? They would run you from the morning till the nighttime. They would like everywhere you'd run
And you
about.
ate 3 meals or 2 meals?
You ate 3 meals. Like in the morning, you go for your physical training PT,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll do like push-ups, sit-ups, but mostly you run about anywhere from like 2 to 3 miles Monday through Thursday. On Fridays, you run about 6. So, and that's before breakfast.
Little treat.
Yeah, eat breakfast. Then you'll do some schoolwork, and then next, and then like afternoon, you'll start doing ruck marches, like 2 or 3 miles with like about a 40-50 pound rucksack.
Up and down hills. I guess you're
Yeah.
in Georgia, so there's
Yeah.
all kinds of.
Well, I was in South Carolina for
Okay.
my training. So yeah, so you do that. You come back. They'll go over like everything. They'll give mail call out. You'll get to make your little 5-minute phone calls. Then they call it. Then we'd all have to get a canteen full of water and go down in formation. And everybody had to drink a canteen just to stay hydrated
That make you just chug it.
and make you chug it. You could not go nowhere until you drank that canteen.
It's not a bad idea though. It's,
Yeah,
it's kind of a load though, kind of a big wash at one time, but
yeah. Dude, whenever I got out of when I got out of training, like schooling, like you see me, I look like a skeleton where I had lost.
well, yeah, you have no food. You're eating 7 minutes at a time.
Yeah, so I look sick. My wife looks at those pictures. She's like, "Dude, you look terrible." So, you know, going back to my first deployment, the first time I got there, we got to Kuwait. They told us, hey, we're gonna convoy. We're gonna convoy from Kuwait to our duty station, which was Taji, Camp Taji. So we're like, okay, I didn't know what to expect. I'm driving a him in a tanker, and there.
So do you have a gun? I'm obviously like
Yeah. I have a M16.
Are you by yourself in that tanker?
No, actually, I had since I was a new private, I had my platoon sergeant with me.
You're just fueling tanks, trucks, everything that needs fuel?
Well, actually, we were attached to aviation unit, so Apaches, Chinooks, Kiowas.
Chinooks are badass.
Yeah, they are.
They're badass.
So so then we're convoying, we're going through Iraq, and it takes us like about 3 days to get to where our destination is, because we have probably like maybe we had like 2 different segments, and each segment had probably about over 100 vehicles.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, we're about to up armor our vehicles before we leave, and all it is just like a little sheet metal that they put on the door and the window. So it's really no protection.
It makes you feel good 'cause you can't see out there what's shooting you.
Like you really can't, but you can just see from the side.
That'd be the one. I would rather be infantry for the sheer fact that I'm on my feet.
Yeah.
And I can kind of see what's coming, sort of. I mean, best you can. You're in a tank or a truck. It's like you can see in front of you, side to side, and then everything's aiming at you because they know if they kill you, nothing's going up in the sky.
Yeah, and then they always warn you about IEDs, the improvised explosive devices. So they tell you, man, they're hiding everywhere, and then you're just driving through the cities, and there's like right there in the, like, for some reason in the streets, like on the thing, they have like little holes, and I never knew what they were for, but they have like about 20 or 30 just right there in the middle of the street. And they always say, like, be careful because you never know if it's gonna blow up on you. So, dude, you're just driving, and then you just see all these big ass holes, and you're like, what's gonna happen?
This could be it.
Yeah. So your butt cheeks clench up, and then you just roll over it, and you're like, and then you get a breath of air. Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. Every time.
So did you get involved in any firefights?
Yeah, there was a couple. It's all like indirect fire. You just have to just
chug on through.
Yeah, just chug on through.
You didn't really get it. They wouldn't let you jump out and return fire unless it was. If you did that, it was a bad deal.
because of the fact that you need to keep moving forward because it could be a trap.
Right.
Because they could be setting you up to be blown up later down.
And you're a big explosion.
Yeah, and plus you have all these vehicles, so it's like a big ass target.
Yeah, they box them in front, blow something in the front, blow something in the back, and then it's just death everywhere.
Yeah. So
So what was I always want to ask? What's the first thought when you're out there? The first bullets flying by you, where you're like, "Oh my God, I'm really getting shot at right now."
You just what
you just grabbing gears and driving like hell?
No, your mind just goes into like autopilot. They train you for everything, and you just.
Are you supposed to drive faster? Or are you supposed to stay pace and just?
No, what happened is you have to keep your distance because you don't want to crash or anything like that. So you have to keep watching out, and you have to keep moving forward. So you're
in an ant line.
Yeah.
And so you can't dictate any speed.
Yeah. So it gets difficult.
That's almost harder than be able to sit there and shoot back.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I don't even get to shoot back at you fucks. I got to sit here and just do a good job, guys.
Yeah. There was
that's terrifying.
I think the thing that was difficult was driving through that country and watching the poverty. I think between everything, that's the most difficult part. It's rich in some areas, but when you're driving through there and you see like a family and they're in the middle of the nowhere, it's like a desert, and their house is literally a tent. So when we're there, it's cold, and then you see like these the kids that are probably like maybe anywhere from like 5 to about maybe 12. They're like in shorts, t-shirts, dude, and it's probably like about 30 degrees over there. They have like big old adult shoes on. Some of the kids don't have no shoes, and we're not allowed to give them anything. Before we would give them boxes of food, give them water and stuff. Just to help them.
Why not?
The thing is because they started using it against us.
Oh,
Like we'd give them their MREs, meals ready to eat. So what they would do is they'd take them, empty out everything, just put it on the side, and then have a bomb in it.
oh.
So they use it as like a shield or something.
Oh, so like just disguise the bomb.
Yeah. So you weren't able to help them.
That's rough.
Yeah.
And yet food and candy on you and stuff.
You wouldn't be able to give them anything. But I think that was the hardest part out of everything. Besides missing my family, because it gets so tough just watching them grow up through pictures.
And you're over there. You're far, far, far away.
Yeah, and back then I did not know nothing about computers. I didn't know nothing about emails, anything. I didn't even know that what the @ symbol was.
Right.
I remember one time my lieutenant, she goes, "Hey, what's your email?" And I was like, "It's at this," and then it's a little A with the squiggly thing around it. She was like, "Oh, you mean the @ sign?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't know what the hell it is." But eventually, I got you have to get familiar with
Yeah, you can't
the electronics. So
communicate.
yeah, so I watched them have all their parties, their events, school outings. I watched all their lives just grow up right before my eyes, through pictures.
The world keeps going on, even though you feel like it's ain't nothing happening over there where you're at.
And when you're over there, it's like a Groundhog Day. It's usually the same thing over and over, and you just
just don't get shot, get gas in the helicopters, and get back to the base.
Yeah. So and I think that was tough. But excuse me. You always had your friends there with you, like even though you're new there, you develop real close bonds with them. They become your brothers.
Fighting for it, like literally.
Yeah. Matter of fact,
that's the tightest you can get right there.
One of my best friends, we were roommates, and then we became best friends, and still to this day we are. Oh, Mr. Brian Mueller, he always took care. He always looked out for me because I was new. I didn't know what the hell to expect. He had been in the Army just a little bit longer than I have, and so he had a better understanding. And he would just look out for me. He was kind of like a big brother at the time.
Right. Had a little more.
Yeah.
Little stripe on him.
Yeah. Then you just meet. Our platoon was called 3-5, which is fuel and ammo, which is pretty much the best platoon in the U.S. Army. But it was a good time, and a lot of the guys that I went through my deployments with are still good friends. We still communicate, even though it's maybe through Facebook or something. But
still keep in touch.
Yeah, we'll keep in touch. We'll just they'll check up on us, or you'll just check up on them to see how they're doing. A lot of them are out now, but you still have that connection to them.
Right. Well, that's serious shit, though, man. I mean, I got football buddies I'll never let go of. They're football, but it's a very poor interpretation of the battle that you go through. Like, it's not on any level of something you've seen, but I get what you're talking about. When did you that was the first deployment. You did 2 more.
Yeah. That was my first deployment. My second.
You pick to go back?
No, they.
Okay.
The thing is, man, is that once you get back, you automatically get 3 months of time off from anything. So like you'll get your little vacation time, whether it be 2 weeks or whatever. But for 3 months, there's no training, no nothing.
Just go home.
And yeah, you just show up formation. You start receiving your equipment from overseas. But like after those 3 months, they already have your dates set for your next
Going
deployment.
back.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So you could be in your you could be in your first phase of training, and your commander comes in. He was like, we had a good deployment last one, but we already have our dates for this one, so fuck it, let's go. Where you get your mind ready, get your family's mind ready, and you're like, shit, dude, we just barely got back, and they'd already have a date when we leave. So for the next, and they'd always give us a year or under a year break. But during that time, you're constantly training. Like you'll leave for a month, go train in California, or you'll leave for like 2 weeks, go train in El Paso. So, even though you're back in the States, you're still away from your family.
Right.
So that's a shitty part too. Um,
That's what I couldn't do.
so you're still technically watching them grow up through.
Right.
But the difference is that you're back in the States, so you have the luxuries of what the United States
Not
offers.
getting shot at.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
So our second deployment, we were at Bayat, which is Baghdad International Airport, and then we got sent off to a little compound called Kalzu, which was awesome. I really like Kalzu. It's small. It's away from our main unit. It's kind of like you have your main bosses over here, and you get to separate from them, so they're not in your business every day.
But you still getting shot at and stuff.
Yeah, you have the main thing over there was mortars. There'd be times where you can get like 10 or 9 mortars at a time, and those things you just never know where they're gonna hit.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like drop them, and then
And some people get good at that, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, you hear it. You hear it before it comes. And once you hear it, you're like, what the hell? But your first deployment, man, you hear that stuff, and you're running to the bunker and stuff because you're all scared. You have all you have your flak vest on, your Kevlar, because you're scared. You don't know what the hell's going on. You're like, shit, we're getting blown up. Second deployment, man, you can hear it. And you're like, oh, well, you just keep on doing what you're doing.
He ain't close.
Yeah, and you'll hear it land, and then you just if you're asleep, dude, you'll wake up, look at the door. If nobody comes in, you go right back to sleep. You get used to everything. You get used to the environment. So I think there was only one time where my second deployment where I'd gotten scared for it. Like our camp was blacked out. So once nighttime hit, you could not have any lights, like any white lights. Like if anything, you had to either have a red light or a blue light.
Well,
or
what's the
green light.
difference? It doesn't have residual.
Yeah. See, for some reason, like the white lights opens up a target for them. Like it's just like, okay, this is where we need to aim. And honestly, I don't know what the difference was with the red light, but that was just our policy for that camp. So we would so one night me and two of my soldiers, it was AV and Friction. They were walking with me, and I was we were coming back, and it was nighttime. We didn't have any flashlights. We just knew our way back to our rooms.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you can just hear everything. You just hear them coming in. And you're like, man, I don't even know where a bunker is, but I can just hear it. And you're like, I was like, hey guys, yeah. I was like, hey guys, you know what, man? Let's just put our back to this wall, and we'll just see what happens. So yeah, so it was cool. It was kind of like your butthole clenched up, and you just you just hope for the best. That's pretty much what it is.
They
You
hit
just hope for
close?
the best. You know what? One of them did. One of them hit one of our Apache helicopters, which was real close to us. But then after a while, it just went away, and then you just
They get bored or something like, eh.
yeah.
Let's heave a couple at 'em.
They figured that they'll launch about maybe six, and then figure they'll just wait for if they hear any screams or any casualties or something like that. So
That's crazy.
Another time. Oh, hello everybody that's out here listening to us.
So you got some people in here.
Yeah. Hey Tia, Chaparito, Albert, Diana, Angela. So you know, what else? Well,
Were you lifting weights? Is that when that started?
you
Because
know
I
what?
know they have weight rooms, don't they?
You know, my first deployment, man. To be honest with you, my first deployment, I went from like 145 to about 165 of straight fat, like fat.
Because you're
dude.
allowed to eat over there, right?
Yeah,
Whatever you want.
like over there, our defects were like my first deployment when we went to that Camp Taji. Our cafeteria was amazing. Like, dude, you had a stir fry bar where they would cook it right there in front of you. You had your little fast food spot where they had like burgers, hot dogs, fries. You had your main course meal where they'd have like everything, steak, lobster, stuff like that. You had a taco bar.
What?
You had a little sandwich place. That's in the cafeteria, dude. It's huge.
It's all free, right? You just
Yeah,
can
it's
get
all
whatever.
free. And at the time,
What?
dude, you have Cokes. They used to have Red Bulls stocked up. They had like a little ice cream spot.
I would think the Army would be way better on nutrition.
You would think, but man, a lot of a lot of the armies, the food is contracted out. So whoever is cheaper, they go with their food. So whatever they get, they serve.
Whoa.
But also at that camp, dude, you had KFC, Burger King, Pizza Hut. What else? Taco Bell. And you had that
It'd be easy to
accessible.
get fat.
Yeah, it was, dude. It was, and that's what happened with me. I started off good, but for some reason, dude, I just
Eating good.
I was just eat. I would eat.
Stressing
I
out.
think it was just because it was my first time away from my family. I didn't know what to expect, so
Just stressing.
yeah, comfort food.
Yeah,
So
hell yeah.
just constantly eating. I'd go to the gym, but
They'd be like, look at Felix. He's over there eating some more food, man.
my platoon sergeant, man, used to make fun of me. He was like, I see you getting over there fat with your uniform getting all tight and stuff. And I'm like, man, leave me alone. But, my second deployment, we had another guy. He was from California. His name was Science, Javier. And he was about my height, my build, but he would lift weights, and he got me introduced into it. We started lifting weights, and then since we're like at the same level at the time, dude, we would compete with each other.
Yeah.
So that was like the best thing.
And those gyms are nice over there, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. It's kind of same kind of setup as Heroes, but
More manly. Better vibe. Tent.
yeah,
Army
it's a
dudes.
tent. Yeah, it's a tent.
Rock and roll music and stuff.
Yeah,
Hardcore rap music.
yeah. So you have that, and he would push me, man. So then I started lifting weights, and at first I was kind of embarrassed because I couldn't lift anything.
Yeah.
On incline I couldn't even do 25s on the bar, and I was like,
That is pretty rough.
yeah, dude.
As a soldier.
Yeah, so I didn't know nothing about it, and then he got me introduced to it, and next thing you know, man, it was a great pastime. So I really enjoyed I enjoyed it. It took my mind off everything. Missing my family. What's going on around me.
You can go whenever.
Yeah,
If you're not, as long as you're not in your truck or dealing with some duties,
yeah. As
you can go
long as
eat, you can go work
yeah,
out, whatever.
yeah. It's like when you're on your own, you have your
Man,
free
you
time.
can take advantage of that though. You could really get in some. I mean, obviously you did.
Yeah. Well, I didn't take advantage of it like I should have, but I did. And
Got you started anyway.
yeah, it got me started. It got my foot in the door.
Yeah.
So I started. It went until like my third deployment, which was to Afghanistan. Um, is when I really started focusing on working out, lifting weights, trying to get stronger, trying to be stronger than my buddy.
Yeah.
So yeah, third deployment came around. It was to Afghanistan. It was something new, which was cool because instead of like everything's flat, honestly, Iraq, a lot of the parts look like Midland, look like West Texas.
Mesquite and everything.
Yeah, dude, I kid you not. There's like parts of Midland that I drive through,
Start
and
flashback.
I get flashbacks. Yeah,
No kidding.
yeah, dude. And I'll be like, what the fuck? And it's cool, but sometimes you just like, man, it kind of felt like home when I was over there.
Right. You're used to what you saw.
Yeah,
Already.
because I was used to it. Afghanistan was different, man. It's mountains, mountain terrains, valleys, and stuff like
The
that.
bullet noise is different in the mountains, isn't it?
Yeah.
Trying to locate where they're shooting from.
The thing is, man, dude, over there in Afghanistan, they're more fearless. Like in Iraq, man, dude, they shoot at you, they hide in the buildings. Afghanistan, dude, they shoot from above, but they come charging. Or they come up to the gate and try and blow you up.
They don't get it.
Yeah,
They're not trying to hide from bullets.
yeah. Matter of fact, when I was in Afghanistan, like at our main camp in Salerno, we had our 3-5 right there. That's my boy Jernigan. Sanjay.
Michael Jernigan. Appreciate it, man.
We had our laundry guy, and laundry guys were from local nationals. So our laundries wasn't too far from where we lived at. That guy had spent like 3 months sneaking in parts to build a bomb to set off inside our compound. They caught him one day before he was gonna set it off.
What?
Yeah.
What?
And they go through like a thorough process of searching them. So how he got everything in, I have no idea, but he snuck it in.
That's the craziest thing ever.
He had just gotten everything in, and the following day he was gonna set it off, but they caught him somehow, and they found the bomb.
So they're smart as shit too.
Yeah. The women are fearless.
That's crazy.
We had
but they're known for like putting kids in harm's way to keep you guys from shooting at them and.
Oh yeah. You know what? I had a friend of mine from basic training call me. This was like a year after training, man, and he was like, he called me out of nowhere, and we were catching up, and dude, and he was just telling me, he was like, hey man, he was like, dude, he was like, man, I don't know if I can keep doing this, man. My mind's all messed up. He was like, dude, I had to shoot a little kid on the bridge. He was like, man, dude, he must have probably been like maybe about 9 or 10. And I'm like, man, I was like, I'm sorry, dude, but I couldn't have ever done that.
You say that, but man, if it comes down to your buddies next to you, you're gonna shoot that little kid.
Yeah, you are. But man, he was real heartbroken over that, man. He really was. He was at the point of when we were conversating, crying.
Right.
Because it that's an image that he won't Not much. Jay just out here chopping it up with my boy Kyle. But he was like really devastated, man. And honestly, there was nothing. I was it was my first deployment. I didn't have to experience that, and so I really didn't know how to comfort him.
Was he infantry?
No, he was a fueler.
Oh, really?
But he got attached. He got attached to like an infantry unit. So he was a part of them.
He was shooting.
Yeah. So, like when you're in the army, dude, no matter what your MOS is, it just depends on who you get attached to.
Okay.
So if you get attached to an infantry unit, you're pretty much going to be infantry. I got attached to aviation, so most of my careers was like Apaches, Black Hawk Chinooks. Even we got to mess with the Japanese Army, the Australian, the British, the CIA.
That's crazy.
There. Matter of fact, when we're in Afghanistan, we had the CIA were like our camps right here and right there, they're conjoined. They had a camp for like the CIA and special forces. So one day, we just our camp goes to blackout if something happens. If like somebody gets killed or something, we go on like communication blackout for like 3 days. So we're in Afghanistan, and next thing you know, they're like, "Hey, man, we had some special forces guys and CIA people. They had gotten blown up." So we're like, "Okay, man." We're like, "What the hell's going on?" So come to find out, I'm watching that movie Zero Dark 30, and there's like a point where that girl goes to meet one of the, I don't know if he's a priest or whatever, or he's something. Well, anyways, his vehicle blows up, and it takes out some of the CIA special forces and stuff. And I was like, "Hey, I was at that camp. I was there when that happened."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that's a real thing then.
Yeah, that was a real thing. It really was.
Wow. Going back to what you said about that guy shooting that kid, if you think about it, though, those kids aren't like an 8-year-old here.
No, they're not.
Those that are doing that, I'm sure there are a lot that. Well, it's hard to be like 8-year-old here when those kids raised around bullets. And I've had friends that told me stories like kids playing soccer 30 yards over here. Bullets, they're in a gunfight here, but those kids are still playing soccer because they know the difference if bullets are being close or not. So
yeah.
That kid's gonna kill somebody.
Yeah, they're
more than one person. Probably his job is to blow something up.
Yeah, their mindset is different out there. Matter of fact, whenever we first convoyed we were coming into our camp, our main camp where we were at, my first deployment. I had a little kid that was coming up to our HIMMET, which was our tanker. And I was like, "Man, dude, back up." And I think he was selling something. I don't know if it was candy, gum, or whatever. I'm telling him, back up, man. And he wouldn't, dude. So I pull out my rifle and pull it out at the thing. And my platoon sergeant's like, "No, don't do that shit. Don't do nothing." It's all right, man. We're right here at our
You're
camp.
freaking out like, "Hey, what's this kid doing?"
I'm like brand new. They told us to look out for that shit. So, at that time it was a Sergeant First Class Carter.
I'm new.
And, yeah, I was like, "Oh yeah, pretty much, dude. I'm new. I don't know what to do." And I'm like, back up, get the hell back, dude. Don't come closer. And he just once I pointed it at him, man, dude, he knew what was going on, so he started backing up. But they told you be on the lookout for that, and they're like, you have to watch out for women, children. So you just never knew what was gonna happen.
I go with the Saving Private Ryan rule. If you've seen that movie where they let the German go,
yeah,
and then later in the end he comes and bites him in the ass.
Oh yeah.
If I ever ended up in war or some situation, man, woman, or child, I met a guy years ago. My good friend brought him with me. They were in Fallujah together.
Yeah.
This guy was on top of I don't know, some big truck, but he was on the 50 cal on top.
Yeah.
And this dude told me, if you don't have an American patch on your arm, and you're running from a Humvee or whatever it was,
we're gonna light you up.
you're gonna die. Man, woman, child, old, young, short, fat, tall, you all die.
Yeah.
He goes, if you do, he goes, just in case. He goes, none of my guys need to die. If it's up to me, everybody's gonna die, but my guys. I was like, but he was a nice guy over here. But my friend was like, over there. He's like the kind of guy that has like the head in the bag, like for good luck. He's like, he turns into an animal.
Oh, okay.
But he told me too when we were over here drinking. He's like, you got to turn it on over there if you want to come back.
Yeah, man. It's
They're in some heavy firefights. Like, I think my buddy did. I want to say 2, maybe 3, maybe as many as you, but he did 2 for sure. And he said from day one on the first one to the last day in the second one, it was intense firefights in the urban areas nonstop. He's like, and it was just push. I mean, he was in the mix when Fallujah went down. He was all part of all that.
All that. Oh man, that place was bad.
They're in the Marine. He's a Marine Corps guy. Yeah, and it was. He was saying that was some very. He said, it's like, I remember at the gym I was telling you, he said, I can't explain it to you in words because you weren't there or you haven't been involved. He said, if you were, like I said, a veteran,
then
you could talk. Understand. Yeah, you'd be like, oh, really? Like that?
Yeah.
Like you would see another veteran, I was in a firefight. Well, yeah, well, I was in Fallujah. You were over there. And I understand now. Like, it's another level of violence.
Yeah. That's like with any veteran, man. Once you meet them, no matter what branch they're from, once you start talking to them and you realize that, hey, we come from the same place, then instantly, dude, you have like a connection.
Yeah.
So they become like friends.
You get it. They get it.
And and it's something that you'll pretty much go to war for them, even though you have no idea who they are, what they're about, or nothing like that.
But is there a difference in what if you went to combat? Is it different when you talk to a guy that went to the military but never left the United States? Because that happens.
Yeah, there's some guys that do that.
Well, that would suck, right?
There's some people.
So they don't get, you don't feel connection like they do. Like, hey man, we were in this firefight, and he was like, I was in Kentucky.
No, you know what? They still become. It's just like a unspoken bond.
Right.
Like no
they
matter,
went through training.
Yeah, you know what? They understand like what it's about. Not now if they're like, hey, I was in the National Guard my whole time, then we're not on the same level.
Right.
Like if you don't do it day in, day out, then it's not the same compared to when you just show up on the weekend.
Right.
Or
I see what you're saying, yeah. I would just think being a combat veteran, especially a guy that spent, I mean, it's probably better than prison, but you did a prison stint in different countries. So you're like, I would have a hard time going, man, yeah, you're in the military, but you never went nowhere. You didn't know what was going on. You're uncomfortable. Yeah. You're nervous as shit. You're pointing guns at little kids because you're like, I'm new. You're getting too close. Everybody's like, hey, calm down. It's okay. So you had to figure it all out. You had to go through all that. That's probably growing pains of war. You could probably write a book about growing pains, but I have no idea. I could just imagine going from Midland kid, long hair, to working at the water store.
Yeah.
To go, let's do this. And then next thing you know, it's like, choom, choom, you're going, oh, shit, man. It's a growing, you get to figure out how to function. Like you said, I guess number 2 was a lot easier. Number 1, number 3 was probably I guess like kids, like, hey, whatever. They're shooting mortars, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Shut the door. Shut the door, turn the lights off.
No, yeah, actually, you can always spot the soldiers that have never been to war, because they'll walk around. They'll have a combat patch, especially for Army. Army they have their combat patch for whatever unit that they were attached to. So
you won't have that on yours,
huh?
So a combat veteran probably won't have that on there.
Well, no, yeah, they do. Like, say for instance, like our uniforms, we have our flag right here, and then if you've been to combat, you'll have your unit patch right here. No matter what unit you're with, you'll have their patch right here.
Okay.
On your right hand arm. On your left arm is where you just have your unit patch, whatever unit you're attached to. So if you see a person like with just a flag on their right side,
Yeah.
then you know they've never been nowhere.
Oh, okay.
So that's how you
He's
can.
Kentucky
That's
guy.
how. Yeah, that's how you can always spot somebody, dude. And it's
Is their
always.
attitude different though?
No, you know what? They try and stay low key. They try
That's
and
cool.
stay low key. That's one of my soldiers that was over there with me at
Lamont.
Kush. Yes, sir.
Hey, FOB, Kush crazy.
Yes, sir.
Nothing wrong with that.
Over there, we used to have to do. Matter of fact, I have a story about him. So at Kushman, it was like a rural area. Like we couldn't get supplies. Like the only way we could get supplies if they would they'd bring them in, airdrop them. Like a lot of places they have convoys that'll bring supplies.
Right.
But this place was like it was really harsh. The area.
This is Afghanistan, right? This is the mountains.
Yeah, this is Afghanistan.
Okay.
This is my last deployment. So like our fuel, they would bring a C-130, they'd fly it in, and then they'd airdrop 55-gallon drums. It'd be a pallet
Full of good stuff.
Yeah, so it'd be a pallet, 4 55-gallon drums of diesel JP8 aviation fuel. So next thing you know, when they fly low on your camp, dude, the sky just lit up with parachutes, like about 40 parachutes.
All full of equipment though.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
all full of fuel. So, you know,
I bet that's badass to see that. But you're like, what?
it was cool, man. But the thing is that you have to get out there because they drop it at probably about maybe a mile, 2 miles outside of camp. If it's windy, the wind's gonna catch that parachute and drag it probably about another mile or 2 miles outside. So what I would do is I take another NCO that was out there with me, Sergeant Trotter. Then I take Joyner, another guy, Mans.
Your old lady said, stop stuttering, babe.
Dang, such a hater, huh?
Then she said, you're doing good. You can't do that. You can't say something mean followed up by something nice.
Yeah, I know. Well, anyway, so we're out there, and this is one of many. Like my unit told me not to go out there. Like we weren't supposed to go out there, but we were like for some reason that Sergeant First Class, the one that was in charge of that camp, he came out. He was like, "Hey man, we need your help." So I was like, "Hell yeah, dude, we're gonna go out there. Shit, it's an experience."
Right.
So we go out there. I take all my guys with me. I take like a little 4-man security team with me. So I have we're loading up the pallets on a flatbed, and I have and I'm going to look at a pallet that's difficult to get to. So I have Joyner. He's working one of the forklifts. So he's working that forklift, man, and then I'm over here talking to one of the security guys, one of the NCOs from the infantry, and we're discussing something. And then next thing you know, he jumps out of the forklift, dude, and you just hear 3 rounds just go off. And you're like, what the fuck? He was like, it's friendly fire. And at that time, they had told us, they're like, listen, dude, they're like, if you have an accidental discharge, we're gonna ream you. Because, a lot of times it could kill soldiers and stuff like that. So, and plus, at the time, he was carrying a 249. So it's like, dude, it can get off a couple hundred rounds in a second.
Oh, wow.
So he gets out the forklift, dude, and then you just hear 3 rounds go off. And I'm like, everybody's like, what the hell's going on? So, we're like, I'm like, man, dude, please don't let it be an accidental discharge. He comes with I say, sorry, man, I'm sorry. I was like, man, where'd it go into, dude? Did you shoot the forklift? Did you shoot the ground? What happened? So, that other NCO that was with the infantry, I was like, hey, bro. I was like, listen, man, to be honest with you, man, we're not even supposed to be out here. We're not supposed to be. My unit said we're not supposed to be out doing this. I was like, man, dude, you need to let's sweep this under the rug. He was like, all right, man, let me see what I can do. So, because I'm pretty sure the tower guards had heard it, but he called it in. He was like, hey, man, if you heard anything, it wasn't nothing. It was just some kids messing around. So, dude, it covered our ass. Because if not, my soldier, he would have been demoted, kicked out. I would have been demoted, punished, and stuff like that, dude, just for that.
The armies ran like armies just as foolish as some business or some normal. Like
it does. It is.
Like,
man.
you want to go out there? Yeah, we shouldn't.
Yeah.
Can you go?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll let you come. Well, come on, fuck it, come on with us. Hop on. Here, get in the forklift.
Yeah.
Here, hold the gun while you're in there.
Yeah.
Was he just like he just shot off by accident?
Man,
I
think no, he jumped out. He jumped out, and then he had his hand on the grip, and then when he jumped out, man, I guess he just jumped out wrong, and then next thing you know, he just hit that trigger, and
it's called the Barney Fife.
Yeah, man, but
it's all good. I'm sure it happened to me. I'm sure I'd shot myself if I ever went over there.
But man, dude, you know what? It's a
little lucky Arthur Merritt, Sergeant A.G.
My boy.
Oh. All these guys in the military, I'm guessing.
All these guys are from my 3-5 platoon, man.
That's badass. Appreciate all you guys.
Which I'm telling you, man. You know, a lot of these guys, no matter how many years apart that you're away from them, man. Once you start communicating with them, it's like no time has ever passed.
Like you just dropped. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So these they're I always consider them my family.
Joyner's the one that was popping off rounds.
Yeah,
calm down, man.
He's the one that
he was probably a little nervous, probably a little excited too.
Man, honestly, I don't know what happened with it, but dude, it was. We got saved by that NCO. He saved us, man, because we could have been.
That's dope, though. It's like that.
What was he? I was changing to the pork chop. Okay, that's what happened.
I don't know what that means. Is that some lingo that's outside my realm?
No, so he went from they have like a little nutsack, and then they have like a little nutsack only holds like about 100 rounds.
Okay, this on the rifle.
Yeah, it's on the 249. It's like more of a machine
submachine gun.
Yeah,
smaller,
and it's heavier. It's heavy. It probably weighs like about maybe 20 pounds.
That is fucking heavy for a gun, man. To go running with that.
So he went from like a little satchel to like one of the big drums. So he must have just went off. So it went no big deal.
Weight distribution is different. When he swings down one handed, it probably swung a little more or something.
Yeah, but the thing was, dude, is what I was getting to with that story, dude, is you know, we had a pilot that flew into like a vineyard, and over there, the vineyards are they're like frack ponds, I guess, like frack pits, you know, where they go up, and then inside they have like a vineyard inside them. So they have that vineyard. It must have been like about 6 foot up above ground, and we had a pallet in there with 4 drums. So I was trying to figure out how to get that shit out. And dude, it was probably like about 3 miles from our camp, and everybody was working to get the stuff that was close to our camp. So me and the other NCO, we were discussing everything that happened with him, and like our camp was surrounded by 3 little villages.
So do enemies see this and go after it, or do they know better?
You know, I'm
sure it's a word all the time, but
like for some, like those camps were always protected. Those camps. We had one of the leaders. They called him Rambo. So yeah, dude,
he's bad dude.
Yeah, his name was Rambo.
Talking about U.S. convoying with the SFC laughing on Christmas in the first M1 1114 up armored Humvee. Man, the way y'all talk is the baddest shit ever. I
No.
wish. I wish I knew.
Yeah. So next thing you know,
I'm getting all kinds of paragraphs in here.
okay. So back to the thing. So I walked back over there. It's probably like about a mile back to where everybody's at. I'm discussing. So oh wait, I got off the story with Rambo. So Rambo was he was a leader in one of the villages that were surrounding our camp. Well, ISIS had went in there and killed his brother.
Oh, so Rambo's not with the
No,
military.
he's not.
He's a dude there.
He's the leader of one of the villages.
Oh, okay. He has a gun and he fights.
Yeah. So what he did was one time ISIS tried to go into his village and tried to monitor our camp. Well, what he did was they notified him. He caught one of the ISIS guys, cut his head off, and then posted it on a stake out there, just so that they know like they're not welcome here. So those villages were pretty safe for us.
I gotcha.
And with that fuel drop, man, it was inside that vineyard. And I go over there and I'm trying to think like, man, how am I gonna get this out? So, up above, like right past it is like a hill and then there's a village. And I seen probably like about maybe 7, 8 kids, anywhere from like 6 to about 13. So I leave, I go over there and we're discussing a plan on how to get this out. So we go back, we take a look, we go back for a second look, and we climb up it, dude, and we look down, and it's just a pallet. The straps are cut.
Those kids got it.
And then next thing you know, you look up, dude, and you see them little kids, they're rolling the drums up to their village. And I was like, man, you know what? I told the other NCO that was with me, Son Trotter, I was like, dude, honestly, I don't know how the hell they did it. But they did it.
They deserve that food.
So it was fuel. It was fuel. I guess they don't have fuel over there for like heat and stuff like that. So I was like, hey, you know what?
That's insane.
They can keep it. They're magicians, dude. I don't know how. Little kids, dude.
Because they wanted something worse than you did.
Oh yeah,
That's what that was.
Yeah. I remember.
You knew another fuel run would come if you needed something. They're like, hey, there's some fuel right there.
Oh yeah, dude. We had one pallet disappeared right before our eyes. We don't even know how it happened, dude. It blew right past us, and there was probably like about 7 or 8 guys there. And then next thing you know, like we just like turned our head to the side and then look back at there, and it was gone. Like we walked over there, we looked all around, and we could not see it. We're like, where the fuck did it go? I don't know if they
mountain people.
I guess I have no idea, but
like the thing is, people that don't have shit, they see something like, I'm taking that.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, over
That's
there.
crazy.
You know what? They don't have a lot of things. We had a couple of kids that worked on our camp, dude.
Sergeant Trotter and Sergeant AG was a power team.
That's what I'm talking about. Merritt, Sergeant Merritt, my boy. We had some kids that would work on there, dude. Would always flip us off, man. No matter what, dude. You just start talking to him and he just shoots you the finger. Back at like our main camp, when we'd go over there, we'd have to receive fuel. Like back then at our main camp, we'd get convoys of trucks, of fuel trucks, and we'd put them into we put them into like a bag, and it's kind of like, you remember the chocolate milk they used to get in elementary?
Yeah.
So that's what we had for fuel, and they'd be like
fuel in a bag.
Yeah. We had like bags. It's called a fart.
It just had like a little connection on it.
Like we'd have hoses, dude. We have like a 300 GP pump on it, dude. And we used to go to town. We'd suck all that fuel out, put them in. Like we had like 6 bags. Like 6 bags. Each bag hold 100K of fuel.
Whoa.
So we'd have to pull guard on these on the drivers. Like we'd pull guard on the drivers, and then next thing you know, they're sitting there and they're grabbing each other's balls and shit. Dude. They're always like basha balls. And they would always play with like some of the soldiers, the newer ones. We're like, hey, he likes basha balls, So they go over there and try and grab on their shit, dude.
What is
Yeah.
it? Is this a game?
No, you know what? Honestly, from my understanding, man, over there, they take one. They're saying is men are for pleasure, women are for breeding.
I've heard that.
Yeah, and you know,
I didn't know if there's truth to that because I've just heard it. I never read it or studied it or nothing like that.
yeah,
So there's some truth to that.
yeah, there's some truth to it, man. You know, there's one day that they take out of the month where they go out there and they just have like full blown orgies with nothing but men.
This is in Afghanistan
Afghanistan, Iraq,
and Iraq.
Yeah.
It's like a full day instead of going fishing, guys. You'll come to the house.
Yeah.
We're just gonna get in a pile and
Got the
see
loot
what
ready.
lands where.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
That's I mean, hey, I'm not judging. Just I wouldn't want to go to that party.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would, man.
That'd be a weird barbecue. Could you eat before or do you eat after the orgy? Is what I would wonder. Because after the orgy, we need to be showering before eating together. Is what I would think.
Dude, you know they have
He's Man Love Thursday. The potato sacks. That's crazy. So they'd walk around just grabbing each other's balls.
Yeah, dude. You know it's kind of weird, man. But you get used to it. So.
And they probably don't get a shower daily, do they? Out there in the
No, you know what? They have a distinct odor. The men do. They. I don't know if they use deodorant or whatever, but they smell like onions. They have like underarmers.
These dudes have orgies every month. What do you say? Man Love Thursdays on third Thursday of every month.
Yeah.
And it's just a bunch of onions getting down. The
Dude.
funk that has to come out of that. The famunda cheese and the... Who knows what's involved? The beard. There's all kinds of beards and hair everywhere. I'm sorry, but if I had to do it with the dude, I'd be like, hey, man, you got to shave everything, bro. And put a lot of lotion on.
You know,
Before we do this bush, whatever you call it.
even the women stink, man. You know the women have a distinct odor to them too. They smell terrible. What was that?
That story made both y'all take a sip. He's not lying. But
Yeah.
I guess because I've heard it, but I never knew. I mean, but you're there.
Yeah, dude, and it's like
It was in front of your face every day the same.
my second deployment, dude. Like a lot of the workers on our camp, they would live on our camp. Like they had this one house, dude, and it's like probably about maybe 15 guys that live inside the house. So one day out of the month, bro,
It's like a hot onion factory in there.
dude. Yes.
Smell like Rose's Cafe with no tortilla factory going though. Just the onions and jalapenos.
Yeah, bro. It was.
So one day a month, you knew in that building.
Yeah, there was some hole poking.
That's crazy. But so that's when I would hit them. That's when you get them. Like if I'm strategically trying to take you down, hey, we find out orgy day, and we attack on orgy day with their pants are literally down. They're attached to. I mean, they're all together. All the men are together. Just find a little room where they're banging at.
Yeah, you know what? That'd be the ideal plan.
Well, I don't get it though. Would they? Why does the 72 virgins sound like a good idea if they're out there banging a whole bunch of dudes every month?
Dude, honestly, I don't know.
Are they virgin dudes? Maybe that's what was going on the whole time.
Maybe that's what it is.
Because it sounds
dude.
like they don't give a shit about women.
Yeah, well, like
Just to make more dudes to bang.
Yeah,
They're
you know that's what it's like, dude. You know when
These girls are making more dudes to bang.
pretty much.
That's the craziest shit I'm glad I got verified from somebody that has legitimate knowledge of what the fuck goes on over there.
Yeah, dude.
I'm glad that you're pretty honest about the armies. I've talked to some guys in the military, and they're like, this and this. And I'm like, there's not any normal people in the army. Everybody's just squared the fuck away, and everybody's just rock solid all the time.
Nah, man. No.
I've had a few friends, though, that have been straight honest. Like, they told me guys, like I said, in firefights crumble, or guys are just slobby shits, and you're like, they're fat and lazy, and you're like, how are you even not dying right now? How are you not dying?
Yeah, you know, you man, there was this picture that was floating around, dude. There was this guy. He was
That's your wife. Just give everybody Shout out for bringing you back to the house.
Oh, you know the thing, like there was this picture floating around, dude. It's this he must have been like the either National Guard or Reserve, but dude must have had like a he had a huge freaking belly, like a huge belly, dude. Like he must have been like 350 pounds and nothing but solid fat stomach, carrying
How
like
does that
about
happen?
7 pizzas, dude.
How does that happen in the military?
Well, the thing is that when they're National Guard and
They go
they're
home.
reservists, then you really don't they don't have like standards pretty
Right,
much.
right. You can do what you want when you're over here.
Yeah, you do what you want, eat what you want.
Struggle through the
really-
weekends.
yeah, you just show up for the weekend. There's really no consequences, man. You show up for the weekend and you pretty much don't do anything.
So pretty much you hang out and play with guns and cool toys for the weekend and
Not even that, man. You just show up and
drill.
sit there and look at each other. You know, whenever I got off active duty, I decided to join the reserves. I was like, man, you know what? I'm gonna get off active duty, join the reserves, so that way I can keep the insurance and just do it once a
Yeah.
weekend. Boy, I did it, dude, and I couldn't adapt. I didn't have the mindset.
You're from the A team to the B team.
Yeah, dude.
From a bunch of killers to a bunch of guys that talk about killing that ain't have no fucking probably clue about what it's like
So-
to go do some real things.
So it was like their standards were different from like doing it. Like I was so used to doing it every day, and I knew what the standards were for that.
Right. Well,
Coming
yours is
to-
just literally you had to save lives, keep yourself alive or keep everybody else
Yeah.
alive, and they're like, ah,
And so when you transition to the reserves, it's just a different environment, man. Nothing's the same. The chain of command's different. The way that they operate's different. So it's all in general. It's different. I could never really adapt to it because I was like, man, what y'all doing is just ate the hell up, and that's not right.
right.
So I was going through a medical screening, and they're like, hey, you know what, we can offer you retirement. And I was like, yeah. I gave him the peace sign. I was like, yeah, dude, just
Count me out.
yeah, count me out, man. So now I'm retired and just enjoying life, enjoying family.
Getting swole as shit.
trying to, man.
I'm telling you, last time I saw you, we were all kids, but then I see the picture.
Yeah, dude.
Now you're jacked. So you eat enough food, lift enough weights, obviously now.
Dude, you know what, man? What I really want to do is, I can't eat right. I can't eat healthy.
Yeah,
That's my hardest part.
if you can drive a truck nice and calmly through a war zone where the bullets are flying by your head, you can eat right.
Dude, I can't eat right, and I can't stop drinking. Like that. Those are my two main things. Like,
Well, you drink beer or liquor the most?
well, before I was drinking beer all the time, but recently I started switching to liquor. So
Yeah, I like that. I stick to when I do drink, it's whiskey.
yeah,
And you just got to find. I fast, and I'm doing something totally. Now I'm doing this vertical diet. I've done every kind of thing. I do experiments for a year. I give everything a year. I did keto. I do everything. But right now I'm a vertical diet, which is nice. I eat carbohydrates, and I can tell the difference. And my workouts feel great. So I eat meat, steak, hamburger, white rice, potatoes, nuts, spinach. I mean, it's real simple, but you just gotta. If you're not cooking it, you shouldn't eat it.
yeah. See, that's the thing. I don't have time to cook. My wife don't have time to cook, so it's always what restaurant are we gonna go to?
Yeah, we did it for a while, but like actually when I leave here, I'm gonna go home and cook a steak, cook some chicken, and I have a rice cooker, which is the shit, and have it chopped up ready for tomorrow. So when I get home tomorrow from work, I can eat, get ready for working out, yada yada yada.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I just make that, just fucking do that little bit, man. That little like that extra shit you've done in the military. You just go, this is if this is what I want, then this is what I have to do.
Yeah, and that
It won't take much.
Yeah, I know.
Cut
But
soda pops out, cut sugar out. The carbs you're getting, make sure like I like fast digesting, like white rice, like the yellow potatoes are pretty good. I just don't eat a lot of potatoes. Yams are good, but
yeah,
or just don't be that drastic. Just cut the sugars out, cut the processed bullshit out. If it comes in a wrapper
yeah,
or it comes from the store, like the drive-through window, cut it out to like minimal, very minimal.
yeah.
Just throw a steak on, throw some eggs, throw some bacon, throw some cheese, a couple vegetables, grab a salad. Dude, you can go to HEB right now and buy those
Meals.
prepackaged real quick,
yeah,
man.
yeah. That's what I ate earlier.
Just go buy a bunch of those. Or go to Rich Fit. Rich Fit Meals. He sells his for like $6 to $8 a meal. He said he'll give you a whole week's plan. You call up there, tell him what you want, and it's done.
He'll do a whole week. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that. I think it's just I like dude. My biggest thing is fried chicken, dude. You just don't know. I could eat fried chicken like all day, every day, and that is like my weakness, like fried chicken, dude.
Start eating more steaks because steaks will keep you full longer.
I eat a lot of steaks, but I fall back to fried chicken. No man,
That's not a bad one though, because my weakness is like cakes, donuts, baked goods, and candy.
Actually,
I'm a sweet too. I like sweet and salty. I like it all, but I really love baked goods. Like, there's nothing like when you're sitting there talking about cake earlier. I just kept imagining like a double chocolate cake with like some fudge in the middle of the 2 layers, and then a cold ass Pepsi. That's the kind of shit I think about. Or a Swiss roll. Goddamn Swiss roll.
No, I don't eat sweets that much. I don't eat cakes and
Fried
stuff.
So it's the carbs and the fried chicken. It's the carbs
Yeah,
from the beers and
yeah.
the drinking and the fried chicken.
Yeah.
You don't drink sodas though?
No, I don't drink sodas. Not that often. It's either water or alcohol. That's pretty much it. Or Gatorade.
You eat a lot of
every
food?
once in a while.
You stuff yourself?
Not. Sometimes, man, I'll eat and I'll eat a little bit and then I'm full.
Right.
But then there's like yesterday, dude. Yesterday I ate a 12-ounce ribeye. I ate some mashed potatoes, some mac and cheese, and then for some reason I had to eat me a big old strawberry cheesecake.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
So,
but you don't look bad, man. You look good. How you're 30? What? 36?
Yeah, 36.
Most 36-year-olds that are dads look like shit. Most 60% of this nation. It's a fact. You can look it up, Google it. 60% of this nation's obese. So if you're 36 and you got guns, you're not fat, you look good, you got chest muscles, you're pretty jacked up. You're definitely better, above average by far.
Yeah. That's the rule at my house, Angela. Don't mess with me when I'm at the gym. She knows.
Yeah, I'm the same way, man. I got real serious about this powerlifting thing now. That, like, I'm going ham. I'm serious. Like on the way up here, I was rushing because I had to run home, get my rice and my steak, throw it in there. I put some soy sauce like a crazy because I need salt. Like no one realizes, but if you're putting out a lot of exercise, you need salt. Salt's good. It's a mineral you need. And then I put some sriracha, mixed it up. And I was
just eating right, shoving it down.
Well, because I knew I haven't for years. I've done fasting. I've eaten like 1 meal a day, and I get in great shape. But I noticed I was flatter. I didn't have the energy and the power, and I couldn't bring the intensity to workouts. But I've done it for so long that way that I was just used to being deficient of food. Now, like today, before I went and worked out, I ate a whole thing of sushi, and then I had a carb drink. I was fucking killing in there. It felt like, and I'm getting lean.
Yeah,
eating carbs. But I'm eating good carbs. I'm eating them the right way. Like after I work out, my powerlifting coach says, "Go get you like a couple Swiss rolls or some donuts. That's the time to have it." That's what they tell me to eat right then because your sugars are dropped so far. You need carbohydrates. It spikes everything back up.
Oh, okay.
And the intense workouts you do, your insulin levels really don't even spike because it's being used. It's being burned up.
Okay.
I only have to do that 3 times a week. In between those days, I do bodybuilding and like CrossFit workouts.
Oh, okay.
And then, like, on Saturdays, I'm not supposed to do much, but I'm probably going to do something.
Yeah. Like me, when I go to the gym, I go in there and just try and lift as much as I can all the time.
Yeah, as heavy as possible all the time.
As heavy as possible.
Well, hypertrophy, man, like, the hypertrophy is 10 to 12 for some people. For a guy like you, it's probably strong, 12 to 15.
Yeah.
Reps at a moderate weight. Like, bring that shit down. You'll never see me in there do a curl on a dumbbell much more than if you see me with a 30, that's crazy. But it's always 20-25s.
Really?
Or
Okay.
shoulder presses like with dumbbells. I guess I could do some heavy stuff on hypertrophy days, but if I can't control the weight for 12 and like really pump, if I couldn't do 12 sets of 4 with a solid heavy weight without pushing through, then I won't do it.
Oh, okay.
And that's just going to build that big muscle, and it's going to also burn a lot of fat while you do it.
I think that's what I do is because, man.
Because you're huge. You're a big guy. You probably just want to get big your whole life because you were 140 pounds in the military.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing.
You gotta stay big. You're going to stay big. You got the base. You're big.
Like me, I go heavy. Like shoulder press, I'll do the bar and put like 225 on there and shoulder press it for like about 5 to 8.
That's heavy as fuck.
And I'll do that for like about 2 sets, and then I'll throw like 275 on there, do it for like about maybe 3.
You go in there and do
but
6 sets at 185 for 10.
Yeah, I think that's what.
And then if it gets too heavy, 185, just drop the 25 off, eat your pride, and leave the cookies on the 135s on, and finish up, but up the reps.
Yeah.
So if you drop the weight, so go from 10 to, which you probably can do 12, go to 20.
I think, and you know that today is what I started like the moderate weight, because usually when like today was arms, and I start with the dumbbell curls, and usually I start with about 60.
Jesus.
And
Jesus. I don't have big arms, so I'm not trying to talk that shit. I don't have big arms.
No, I start with 60 and do about 8 to 10 reps each arm. And then I'll drop down to 50, 55,
That's
45,
good. That
40.
ain't bad though.
But
serious pump by the time your reps are going up, I'm sure, as you drop weight.
Yeah, but I like today I started out with like 45s, and then I stayed with 40s, and then I dropped down to 30s.
You should, if I was you, if you're gonna go to that bigger weight, start low. Like if you want to go to 60, jump on some 20s, pump out 20 in each arm, and then go ahead and jump to the 30s and go, I don't know, 30, 40, 50, 60. Work your way up and drop the reps. And then when you get to that big weight, do a low rep range, and then go back down and try to bring the weight up until you feel like, say you can't make it back to your original first weight of 20 pounds. Like if you're like at 40 pounds, you're done. Like I'm smoked. Just jump off of them.
Yeah.
Grab the 20s, pump out what you can, and be done.
Yeah.
But don't start with the 60s because you're just fucking flatlining your muscles. The CNS, man, I'm learning more and more. I mean, central nervous system is a big deal, and I'm learning more and more because I do. I was doing 3 workouts a day, and I do powerlifting, hypertrophy, and a CrossFit WOD every day. My CNS is fried. This powerlifting coach is like, you can't do that. Like on powerlifting today, I did squat and bench.
Yeah.
And usually I'd go after that do something else. Now I just don't. I did a podcast. I'm gonna go home after this. I'll probably go home and eat something else before I go to bed, and then that'll be it. And then tomorrow will be a hypertrophy day, so I can fuck around a little more.
Oh, okay. No.
I can do more. I can do more things that aren't powerlifting. And then Friday's a big day. It's deadlift day, and then he makes me take the weekends off. And I used to work the weekends. I used to work out all weekend, but I've noticed a difference, man. There for a while, I did a couple years, 2 years ago. I did three. I would do 3 workouts a day and 3 workouts a week, about 45 minutes a piece. I got jacked. There's pictures of me on Instagram. I was 220. I was jacked. Yeah. I always stayed pretty lean. I always stayed pretty good shape. But then I was like, now I'm going to push it. I'm going to do the 7-day-a-week extreme workouts. I've done that for a year. And I was seeing some real good benefits for a while. But here lately, I've noticed my body's like diminishing almost, as in, doesn't look as lean. I'm like, what's the deal putting all this work? And then since I've been doing what these guys said with the CNS, giving myself some breaks, lifting some different weights, now it's all coming back. My muscles are feeling fuller. I'm looking back to what I used to be, and I'm like, oh, I was just beat to shit.
Okay. I might have to change
just
it up.
You got to change it up. Your body gets used to what you do.
Yeah.
If you're doing the same thing every time, your body's going to go, okay, I've done this, man. But if you go in there tomorrow and you're like, all right, fucker, we're going to do 500 reps. If we're going to do, you ever done that workout before, 500 reps?
No, I never done that.
Dude, me and Aaron Reed, I did that for almost a year, but sometimes it's lighter weight. So say we're doing chest, I can pick 5 different exercises for chest, 100 reps per exercise.
Okay.
So 5 sets of 10, however many you want to get done. Like, I guess it'd be 10 sets of 10.
Yeah.
And you can get through it in about an hour and a half, but it's not going to be heavyweight. But, dude, you will get swole, ripped. You will get jacked.
Okay. I'm gonna have to try that then.
Go in there and do like 10 minutes of walking on a nice little incline.
Yeah.
Go lift a session like that. And then before you leave, do another 10, 12 minutes on the incline and then go home.
Okay.
And watch what you eat. Don't just watch the fried chicken every day. Watch the carbs.
Yeah.
If they're
I'm gonna have to watch
stay
that.
away from the beans so much. Stay away from the pastas. Stay away from the fried chicken every day. Like, make a day. I have a day. It's called FFS. For the adults, it's Fat Fuck Sunday. For my kids, we call it Fun Food Sunday. On Sunday, I get insane. Yeah, ice cream, everything.
Everything
And sometimes I stuff myself and have a food hangover Monday. Like, oh. And sometimes I'm like, I don't feel like feeling like shit today. So I'll have eat my good food because I eat good food anyway. I mean, it tastes good, the steaks and the rice and the soy sauce. But I'm like, I'll just have some ice cream after that, and that's it.
Yeah.
But sometimes I go ham. But just make that day.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to switch up my workout. You know, just change it up.
You gotta do it. Like, man, your body's smart, and it takes about, a month or two. Your body's gonna start going, oh, yeah, I'm figuring this out.
Yeah.
I'm figuring this out. Like the way the bodybuilding, the powerlifting split works is, you take your max of whatever you're lifting, squat, bench, or deadlift, and you do like today for my squat was 3x3 at 80% of my max.
Yeah.
And my bench was 5x5 at 70% of my max. And then last week, Monday, it was the same thing, but it was flipped. So it was the 3x3 for the bench and the 5x5 for the squat. And then what I'll do next week is I'll go up to, they'll add 5% every time. So you're slowly adding weight, and your body's slowly building this. It never catches on. It's always a little bit behind, but before you know it, within a year, you've added 100 pounds to everything that you lift.
Okay. Oh.
And I'm definitely seeing a difference. I've been doing this with this guy that you should check that gym out, man. Iron Will and Strength with Stuart's $50 a month to month. Like, if you don't want to do it next month, you just cancel it. And he's like, cool, and you come back in the month after. But it's a legit power gym.
Where's it at?
Scarborough Street, where the annex is.
Okay, yeah.
Remember where Game Ready used to be?
Yeah, yes.
That old building.
Okay.
Go check him out. It's my favorite place to go.
That one is.
And he's smart. I mean, he's watching you. It's just a cool atmosphere. It's the only gym I go to that I don't put headphones in because he jams out good music.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's dope. But it's a legit gym because it's not 24 hours. I mean, some people don't like that, but I like the fact that he opens at a certain time and he closes, like, I think it's 8 to 8 or something.
Yeah.
But it's a power gym. In the powerlifting world, your ass should be sleeping. So you shouldn't be working out past 8 or 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And he's serious. He's been on me. Hey, man, you do too much. You need to go home. Stop. So right now, I told him I sold out. He's like, he told me one day, or yesterday, day before, I just really think you should sell it to powerlifting. So I was like, all right, we'll try it, man. So I'm going for it, and I like it.
Okay.
Every powerlifter I know is jacked as shit, too. My buddy Cole Barton, he's on here listening. He's jacked as shit. All of them jacked. When you think I used to think strongman powerlifter, just big fat guys, no.
Yeah.
Everybody's jacked. All the girls jacked. 120-pound girls deadlifting 400 pounds jacked, looking sexy in their little shorts jacked. If you want to be jacked as shit, powerlifting's way, it's not bad. It's a good base, and I think everybody's base should be powerlifting at some point. Like, you should start lifting with those three basic lifts: squat, bench, and deadlift.
Yeah, and me, I go for power. I've really never.
That's why you should go. That's why you should go. And then you get tips from guys that tell you to eat, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I really never had the aspect of, like, having the nice body, six-pack and stuff like that. I've always went in there
just
to
be a monster.
Yeah, to lift as heavy as I can and just go in there and just.
I did that for you.
I'm short.
It's a complex. It's like, I'm going to be big then, strong.
Yeah.
But you're big and strong. Trust me, you got it covered, bro.
Yeah.
You're big and strong.
And, sometimes you go in the gym and for some reason, there's always people that size you up when you walk in there.
Yeah.
So when I walk in there, they size me up. So then that just pushes me just to push myself even harder.
Where's them extra weights at?
Yeah.
Where's them extra weights? Oh, you want to see a show? You want to look?
Yeah.
I'll give you something to look at. Where's them extra plates at?
Yeah, so that's how it is whenever I go to the gym. But I think I'm gonna cut it back down and just
I used to lift nothing but heavy. I still lift heavy weights, but I incorporate all these other weird implements. And I diet right, but I used to be 270, dude. 260, 270. There's pictures and videos of me benching over 500 pounds at Gold's back when it was heroes
Yeah.
now. And I just was never like, man, I don't ever feel. I just want to be like a little more lean, a little more toned. The older I got with my kids, I was like, started playing football with the drillers for the last 10 years. I want to be able to move around better. And it just felt good to be a little leaner.
Yeah.
I'm still 225, 230 always. But I got to a point where I was like, diminishing returns, how much is being big worth being big? Like I can't breathe as good. I just don't feel as good. I'm always hot. I'm always sweaty.
Yeah.
I mean, you might have those issues, but I was fucking huge. I was like 270.
No, I have those issues. I'm short.
When you're too big for your structure, like you have a big structure, you can be a big person. But what do you weigh, like 210, 15 pounds?
No, 204.
Oh, shit. But I bet you at 180,
Yeah.
if you would do hypertrophy work or bodybuilding style workout and diet right, at 180, 190, you would be jacked and look bigger than you do now.
Yeah.
Because when you get lean, it's like an optical illusion. You'll look bigger than what you are. Like, I remember talking to a guy, like, he was about to go to the show. I'm like, what are you competing at? Like 215 or 250? He goes, I'm 215, bro. I was like, you're 215? Fuck, you look huge, man. He was like, yeah, it's just because I'm so jacked. I was like, makes sense.
Okay. I think I'm gonna have to try that out. Man.
You'd feel good.
I'm gonna try.
You get down to 190, 185. You be like, okay, I look good. I feel good. I'm still strong. You're not gonna lose strength. If you live, that's the best part about powerlifting. They'll prove that you don't have to be big to be strong. There's a guy in the powerlifter in my gym. He's 20, 138 pounds. I think he deadlifts over 500 pounds. He squats over 500 pounds. I don't know what his bench press is, but he's 138 pounds.
God damn.
He looks like a little twig. I'm like, yeah, the dude's a monster. So size, yeah, you want to start squatting 1,000 pounds, you have to be a 300-pound guy, but
yeah,
you can be 185 and be stronger than you are now, easily, depending on what you train and eat.
okay.
You're already jacked. You built the foundation. You're huge.
Yeah.
You're a big fucker. But then sometimes it's like bending down and have to go,
yeah.
I don't miss that shit no more.
Yeah.
And I was blessed with a little bit of height and some good genetics from my parents. I'm 220, 230. I'm a weight. Most people are like, that's big. I wish I was that big. I'm like, yeah, I know. But so I could wish I was 250 and jacked. But 220 and 50, between 230 and 215 is my window of size where I feel really good. I don't lose any strength and everything's nice. I start getting over that. I start feeling fluffy. I start getting under that, and my head starts looking too big for my body. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's what I wanted to get to was like about maybe 190. But
you look good.
I want to. My wife don't want me to look jacked. She says I look fine right now.
You do, man. You do.
And
like I said, you're a dad. You're way ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Well, do what your wife says. Fuck what I say. I don't know shit.
Well, no. You know what? There's a guy at Heroes, Soldier Muscle, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I kind of want to like embody his physique, but my wife says like, no, don't do it. Just
work on it slowly and be a slow process. And just don't take it to the extreme. Like get to where you're like, okay, I like the way I look, and then you just it's ease into it. Don't get like super. What women, I think my wife's the same way. She's like, don't be like the douchebag. It's like, oh my god, all he worries about is lifting. Is my food ready? I gotta do this and this, and like be all into yourself, be a narcissist. But yeah, just lose a little weight. You're like, oh, I like the way it feels. Go a little lighter. Trust me. Eventually she'll be like, okay, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm not mad at you.
Eventually, her panties will drop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Nah, probably not, but she'll be like, oh, maybe they will. I don't know. Maybe they will. I always tell my wife those little, like, what do they call them? That little muscles, like Joe Rogan, the dick root.
Oh yeah, V's. The little V. Yeah,
Joe Rogan calls them dick roots.
Oh,
those will make any woman, smartest woman in the world, turns into a bag of stupid shit. If those pop out on the guy, the smart girls are like, huh? Yeah. You can have whatever you want.
Okay.
Well, shit, man, we've been going an hour and 40 minutes already. Right. Your people have been in here hanging hard, putting in. I appreciate all you guys in the 35th. Is that right?
3-5.
3-5. Appreciate all you guys. Appreciate you, dude, for coming here doing this.
No, thank you.
It's crazy that I don't know how I found you on there, but without the long hair, I don't know how I ran it. And then you're swollen as shit too. So literally two different people, and you got all that going now.
Oh yeah.
I appreciate your wife letting you come out here and tell 9:14.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. Honestly, I didn't even know what I was gonna talk about, but
That's what everybody worries about it. I'm like, it's
Yeah.
just talking, and this is one thing I'm good at. I can talk, and really, this podcast is one podcast I gotta listen. I like this one of the best because I gotta sit here and just go, oh yeah, that's crazy shit.
yeah, yeah, dude. Honestly, I was coming here like, man, dude, I probably have like maybe about 15, 20 minutes of talking time. Like, I don't know what I would talk about after that. And here we are.
Conversations build, they just grow.
Yeah.
You'll start thinking about one thing you do over there, and then oh, I'm this, and and sometimes you're
all over the place.
Just start talking. Obviously everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Man, and that's just on Facebook. You can't. YouTube is different views. I mean, you'll be surprised. Tomorrow I'll wake up and have 1,000 views on this thing.
Okay. Yeah. Well, no, I appreciate it, man. It's been a pleasure. It's been fun.
I'll keep in touch. We work out though. We'll go do one of them hypertrophy workouts.
Oh yes, definitely.
You gotta go check out that gym.
Yeah.
I'll tag you in something so you can get some directions over there.
Yes, sir. I sure will.
All right, man. I appreciate everybody. We are out.
Yes. Thank you.
Let's get out of here. That's it.